The Selfish Path to Romance. Download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com and at amazon.com.
Lydia, you want to talk about how to help out some friends?
Yeah, one of my friends, her name's Chelsea. Her life's just been awful. I mean, it's just one thing after another. I mean, she's had people try to kill her in her lifetime.
Why?
And she's the same age as me. She's 15, and she's nearly had 3 attempts on her life.
What's that about?
Her family's just, her mom's side of the family is awful. I mean, her mom's cool, but she's just, most of the time she's just, you wouldn't want to be around her. And she never met her dad. Her dad's an unknown.
Okay.
And her stepdads, 2 of them tried to kill her, and I don't remember the other one.
Were they held accountable? I mean, were they brought up to, did she call the police? Did she make a report on that?
The only reason that Chelsea was in that spotlight was because she was trying to prevent her mom from being hurt.
Okay, so she was in a domestic issue. Were the police called?
Yes.
And is it documented that they attempted to kill her?
Yes.
Okay, so she's got some protection. She knew to go to the police, or the police. Who called the police?
Neighbors.
Okay,
they heard it going on.
And is she living with the stepdads now?
No, they're gone.
They're gone. So she's living with whom?
Her mom and her brother are living with their grandparents who live here.
Okay, her mom and her brother. So she's got a younger brother.
Yeah, he's kind of a brat sometimes, but he's got a good heart.
Okay. And you sound like such a good friend. Tell me, in what way do you want to help her?
She just, we're like mirrors to each other, apparently. We both had bad things happen in our lifetimes, but we took them completely different ways. She's held on to the grief, and I've let it go. I've had a lot of bad things happen to me, but I tried to let it go and let it go on. She didn't, and she had no way to get out. She had no way to get away. She had no people to turn to up until just a couple of years ago. And she really needed somebody when she had no one.
And you were that person that she turned to?
There are 3 of us. There's me, Talia, and Ayana. The 3 of us, I've always been there for her, and she tells us every single thing that she needs to know, we need to know. And she's told us that she has thought about suicide so often that it's not unlikely that she might.
Okay, so if it's gotten that serious, if she's not someone who's just grieving in the sense of some people can't wait to leave home. Finally they're on their own, so she can't wait till she's 16 or 18 years old and has a place to go. But if she's suicidal at all, then you want to get help ASAP. There is a book, Choosing to Live. It's on my website, drkenner.com, Lydia.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a very good book for her to use with a therapist. Can she get therapy through the school, a school counselor, or through some...
That's the thing. With the fact that she's suicidal, both of us, which is amazing why I've been able to call you, we're both extremely paranoid, and she doesn't trust anybody except people who are extremely close to her. So she's too paranoid. She thinks that as soon as... She's afraid that if they find out what's happened and what goes on, then they're going to take her and her sister and her brother, and they're going to pull them away from each other because she knows most likely that they're not going to be put in the same foster care together.
Hey, I got to interrupt this because we've got to pay some bills. 30 seconds, that's it. A very quick ad, and then Ellen will be back.
Romance. Ugh, I wish guys knew more about what we want from a relationship. Boy, I wish I knew more about what I want. Where's that ad I saw? Here it is. The Selfish Path to Romance. A serious romance guidebook. Download Chapter 1 for free at selfishromance.com and buy it at amazon.com. The Selfish Path to Romance. That is interesting.
Then they're going to take her and her sister and her brother, and they're going to pull them away from each other because she knows most likely that they're not going to be put in the same foster care together.
Okay, and that may be the case. She's got a good point there. I mean, they do try to make placements together with siblings, but there's no guarantee. And so she's not paranoid necessarily. What I recommend is that that book is very good. I definitely would love to see her get some therapy ASAP. And I think you need to know that as loving a friend as you are, you're ultimately not responsible for her choices. They are her choices. So you can't put the burden of yourself on yourself of being a therapist at the age of 15 years old. Are you hearing me, Lydia?
Yes.
What do you think? What's going through your mind?
It's just that when she comes to us, she's never gone to anyone else. She's terrified.
Yeah, but she needs to... Go ahead.
She just thinks that if she does do what she wants to do, what she honestly wants to do, she thinks that she has absolutely no other choice. All three of us have pretty much thought that she has not thought her plan through to past freshman year. We know that she probably has not, and we know that she probably has no intention of graduating high school alive.
Okay, because she's suicidal, you're saying?
She has panic attacks. She's forced to...
Okay, so let me give you... I know we only have a minute left. She can... let's see. The first thing that I would do is get yourself some help. If you're not paranoid the way she is, you could get some support. I mean, you're calling me, but I'm not your therapist. I'm just one person that's giving you some tips, a book you can read, and advice to get help. You could try to get some therapy for yourself because there are very good counselors out there. You could go to a website, academyofct.org. It's on my website also, drkenner.com. And that's the Academy of Cognitive Therapy, and see if you can find a therapist in your area, wherever you live. You could go through the school system. You know, the fact is she needs help. If it's a life-threatening situation, it's not a question of being kind or being afraid to blow her cover. It's a question of getting professional help ASAP, and you can't put that burden on yourself to be her therapist. That's not fair to you. And you can get some help. It sounds like you could use some support, maybe even your friends could. So I would reach out to get that help.
That would be good to know if I'm able to do that.
Yeah, just inquire about therapy. You can call a local association. There are state associations. I know I'm in Rhode Island. There's a Rhode Island Psychological Association, and try to get some help for yourself, okay? Listen, thank you so much for the call, and I wish you the best. And get that book. That book is helpful for all of you. It'll teach you some wonderful thinking skills, and it sounds like you've got some good ones already. Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
For more Dr. Kenner podcast, go to drkenner.com and please listen to this ad. Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance, the Serious Romance Guidebook by Drs. Kenner and Locke.
There are two errors about sex that make it degrading. Number one, the spiritual view, because it regards your body as sinful. And number two, the physical view, because it divorces sex from your consciousness, your knowledge, your emotions, and your character. The spiritual view leaves you feeling shame, guilt, and regret about the sex act, evading the fact that sex is fundamental to a romantic relationship. The physical view trivializes sex and turns it into a meaningless animal act. It implies that sex is divorced from you and your partner's deepest values. It also implies that it doesn't matter who your partner is, but of course it does matter. Sex itself is not bad or meaningless, but the wrong views that many people hold about it are.
Download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com and at amazon.com.